Hey everyone, today we're taking a look at the ABRSM Grade 1 snare drum solo, the Madison March. Now the first thing I like to do when starting a new work is check out what we call the time signature. Now these are the numbers at the very beginning of a piece that tell us how many beats we're going to play and what kind of beats those are going to be. In this case, we have a 4-4. You see a number on the top, number on the bottom. The top number tells us how many beats we're going to play. So we're going to have 4 beats. And the bottom number tells us what kind of notes those are going to be. A quarter note, 1/4, a quarter note. So we will have 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter notes. All right. The next thing I like to look at is any instruction the composer may have given us, along with the tempo. And that's usually written just above the very first measure. And in this case, the composer writes march. All right, so that's very clear. We should feel like a big march, like a lot of people walking together in a big formation. All right, that's really helpful when we're playing music to have an image in our mind of what we're trying to portray. Now next to it, he has written a quarter note, that's the kind of beat we have, equals 92. Now that number 92 refers to the number of beats per minute, all right? But also it's just good to know you can just program that right into your metronome, and that tells us how fast our quarter notes are. So right now this is 92. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds like a march. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, really nice. Now the next thing I like to look at is what we call dynamics. Dynamics we've talked about also on the site, and that is the volume that we're going to play things, all right? So that is always written underneath the music that you're looking at. So if you look at the very first measure, there's an F right there. F stands for forte, which is quite present and loud. And the very next thing you see are 3 little letters, D-I-M, and that means diminuendo. Now, a diminuendo will usually take place over the course of the next few bars until you see another dynamic marking. And we see that in bar 3 with a P, and a P means piano or soft, very soft. And that P stays there for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 bars, all 4 bars P, very soft and quiet. And then you see another instruction, C-R-E-S-C, crescendo. So that means that we're going to get loud. Diminuendo meant to get quiet. Crescendo means to get loud. And we're going to get loud, just like we said with the diminuendo, until we see the next dynamic marking. So 2 bars later, you'll see another F. So that crescendo will take place over 2 bars. Finally, we finish the last 2 measures in forte. Let's go ahead, have a little play along, and I'll talk about a few things as they come up, all right? Okay, let's get started. The first thing I want to point out before we begin playing is something that I noticed in every measure except for one, is the existence of a flam. Now, a flam, if you don't know, is a rudiment. And if you go check out our rudiment series on the website, you can find number 20, and it teaches us what flams are. But basically, flams, if you look in the first measure, beat 3 is a flam. It has a little teeny tiny note just in front of the main note on the beat 3. All right, so we play that by putting our left hand very close to the head, and that will be the teeny tiny note, which we call a grace note. And we have the main note, and all we do is drop them at the same time, just like that. You have this little note and this note. Put them together. Grung, grung. 2 very distinct sounds. So make sure you check out that flam video and you really focus on keeping those flams together. Now as we begin, we're going to make sure we really have a nice diminuendo down to piano, keep things really steady, and I'm going to count you through. Are you guys ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, a 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1, 2 again, a 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2 and a 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Very nice. Now you'll notice that I keep counting in all the rests. One thing you can say, for instance, in measure 4, you can play 1, 2, a 3, rest, 1, rest, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, a 3, rest. Sometimes that's really helpful because you want to sing the notes that you don't play, and I think that's really helpful to count out loud as we're practicing. All right? We're going to have one more play through this with the accompaniment. I'll count you in and make sure that you guys can play along and have fun. Send me any questions you may have about the solo, and I'll see if I can answer them. Talk to you later. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play.